on me and I feel like loving you. Love is such a sweet thing running to me and I just want to
Wow. I'm excited, Heston, to see you. You're like one of my heroes, Heston. You're such a remarkable talent, but also, I love this on TV. I've been watching you on and off one. You look like you've lost some weight. You look like you've buffed up. Am I right, sir?
Yeah, I have. I've got a new dish. It involves putting a tube in my stomach.
Oh, Heston. No, you don't.
No, I've been playing a lot of racquetball, actually.
You've deliberately been... And what is this?
What's funny about that?
Is this because you're getting older, you want to keep in good shape, or just you want to play the game itself? Or?
It's a mixture, because the trouble is, this chef's life is not the easiest. You tend to work long hours.
And there's food there the whole time, so I guess you're snacking.
Funny enough, the worst... It's not so much at work for me, it's when I get home from work. Because I just pick. It's like finishing work at 5:30.
Yeah.
And then going to bed. You're not going to do it. So I get home at midnight and I open the fridge and I've got one of my really bad guilty pleasures is prawn cocktail.
Prawn cocktails? Are these some sort of flash prawn cocktail you make
yourself? No, I'm not talking langoustines in sauce and entourage. This is like a supermarket, cottonwool prawns in mayo sauce. And my wife, she knows this, and I ask her not to buy the prawn cocktail. And some nights I get home, I open the fridge door and it's sitting on the top shelf.
Oh. But there's something about that oddly sweet sauce.
Oh, it's like a ray of light that comes out of the fridge, and I can hear this. My shoulders sink as I go and get the.
And you just slurp it down
the whole
in one.
Thing, the whole
thing. Do you use a fork or just your fingers?
No, sometimes I get a piece of bread. I shouldn't be telling you this actually. Sometimes a piece of bread. Why did I say that?
Hey, how come your hair's growing back? I thought you were bald, but you've got, from the look of things, that you have the full head of hair if you want to let it
someone said to me the other day, I met somebody who was bald because they were bald, they had no choice.
Pattern baldness, it's a curse, yeah.
Well, I'm not... I'm only bald because I shaved my head. The problem I've got
Well, that must be annoying to genuinely bald people.
Yeah, but... OK, apologies to any genuinely bald people
That would be like me hopping around as if I had a leg missing and then putting it down and going, actually, I've got one. I'm just pretending. Why would you do that?
The thing is, also, being in a kitchen with a thick head of hair, imagine it's like wrapping a doormat around your head and standing in a sauna. It's not very comfortable.
No. I imagine that's how you cook some of your dishes as well, isn't it?
Actually, in the first series of Feast, we did try, we cooked the pig in the jacuzzi, and we were talking about cooking
We should point out that there weren't any holiday makers in the jacuzzi at the time. It was a purpose-built...
No, we had to take the limiter off, because only in jacuzzis, if they go up to 60 degrees of the temperature you need to cook a pig at, you would kill a human being.
What's the oddest thing you've ever cooked anything in apart from a jacuzzi?
We did a couple of... I'm just trying to think this last... Oh, no, this series. Not quite cooking, but I tried to eat a banoffee pie in a wind tunnel. You know, there's skydiving tunnels.
Well, we're laughing, but we've all thought about it.
It always sounds worse when I hear the words coming out of my mouth.
OK, but what purpose would that serve?
Well, it was a dessert for the 1980s Feast, which we actually served last night.
So this is the new series of feasts, where you do a different themed feast, a strange gastronomic challenge to yourself, I guess you say. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, and they are fantastic to do. There's a lot of work, and we kind of did. It was a bit harder this series because we did ourselves in the first series. We took medieval period, and we because it was with the three dishes I wanted to cook. Those three dishes span 600 years. So in one programme we just wiped out.
You've done history, essentially. Yeah,
basically. So this series we've gone to more recent decades. You know, you're scraping the barrel when you go to a decade. The 80s, the 70s and the 60s.
Well, no, not at all. I love seeing that stuff because I remember that food as well. And when you see something like the 80s, you think banoffee pie was of the 80s.
Yeah, we've done pot noodle. Oh. We made the biggest Breville toasted sandwich in the world.
But what have you done with the pot noodle? Because we could all cook a pot noodle, Heston.
Aha. We made... the guests made their own noodles by extruding them from like a Play-Doh machine into a teapot that was over a candle that then melted into the soup. And in the bowl were this spaghetti, dashi soy sauce spaghetti made out of seaweed so it doesn't melt. Yeah. And then, you know, they get these little sachet in the pot noodle container. Yeah. And that was all edible cellophane. Wow. And we had freeze-dried fruits in there. So they poured the soup from the teapot into the pot, the sachet melted, poured it into the soup.
And I bet, knowing your skills, I bet it tasted almost as good as the original pot noodles.
Not sure if I could have got that far.
Before we have a look at a clip, let me ask, there was a story in the newspapers this week about Gordon Ramsay. who is a tremendous chef.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
His restaurants are great. He's been on the show. He's a great guest member. But there was a story saying that some of the food in his gastro pubs is pre-prepared. Is that common in the industry? Is that something that you would ever do?
I saw that article and I thought it was absolute nonsense. What happened? There's probably the single biggest change in the professional kitchen this century is this system called sous vide, where you put food in a vacuum bag, seal it, and then you cook it in a water bath. So it's a very controllable temperature. And it keeps all the moisture in, and then if you want to brown it afterwards, you open the bag and you put it in a hot pan.
So this is used in kitchens all the time now, I guess?
Yes. Yeah. And so Gordon was with a batch of his restaurants. We all use that sous vide system, and Gordon will do it in his flagship restaurant. But in some of his pubs, it made more sense, because it was very busy, to have a central kitchen where you'd be doing this process. And so I think, from what I gather, some photographer followed them, and this sort of going up the stairs with these boxes and said, it's almost like ready-made meals.
Yeah,
Well, the chap came to the restaurant and said it was a slow-cooked pork belly. So he said, I think the slow-cooked pork, how long does it take? And the waitress said, 20 minutes. So, of course, he said, how can you call it slow-cooked if it takes 20 minutes? It's been cooked the day before.
But that's still fresh food, and that would still
be
better.
How you prepare it would be better that way. So that was very unfair.
OK, let's have a look at a clip. This is Heston's new show. If you love cooking and you like seeing food presented in an unusual way, this is the show for you. It's Tuesdays on Channel 4. It's a remarkable... Have a look at this and we'll talk about this afterwards.
Oh, my...
These were actually Heston's magic chicken testicles. Bon appetit.
I could taste that.
I love the fact she knew the flavour already. That's quite something.
It tastes like a testicle.
Yeah. So is there any part of the animal you wouldn't cook? Or, I mean, I'm sure you deal with vegetarians as well who don't want to eat anything that's been alive. Yeah. But are there any parts when you're dealing with a chicken or pig, or there bits of the...
Well, I mean, there's some parts that I don't think taste as nice as others. Now, those, they're very classical French culinary ingredient. They're actually known as white kidneys, and they're inside the chicken. They're not testicles as we know it, but obviously from a TV point of view, they are testicles.
Better to say they're balls, because it's funnier.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, why with your place it was shut down for food poisoning for a while, wasn't it?
I knew this was going to happen.
Well, no. It's fair enough if you're a chef and you have a place shut down for food poisoning that you get asked questions about it. It's only like before in your personal life.
This was last February.
So what's the deal there? What happened?
Well, what happened was... basically, we had the last couple of years, we had this outbreak of norovirus, which is the winter vomiting bug.
That's horrible, yeah.
Which is awful. And for the last 4 or 5 years, we've been sending food away for testing, bacteriological testing, just as a matter of course. If anything comes up, then it flags up an issue and we look at it. And we found out we were having this... some people were writing and saying that they'd been ill. It got to the point where... all our tests came back negative.
So you had no problems? You were
no problems at all.
But people were coming down ill after eating something?
Yes, and so I made the decision to close the restaurant. And at that point, I had no choice, but it was still a hard decision to make, because I closed the restaurant not knowing if we'd ever open again. And it turned out that what we'd done was bought oysters. We were buying some oysters from an incredibly reputable oyster company. Colchester, Essex, had the highest level of norovirus last year in the country. There was sewage, raw sewage, being pumped into the sea.
Nice.
And the oysters are filters. So if the water's got a virus, the oysters will pick the virus up. But an oyster with a virus is glistening, it smells fresh, you have no idea.
Still looks as deliciously like someone sneezed into your hand as a health food.
Absolutely right.
Let's cook, Heston. You got some... you're going to cook us something?
Ah, yes, I am.
And this is scientific cooking of the sort that you shouldn't try at home, even if you have this equipment. Tell us what you're going to do, Heston. What are you going to...
This was one of the dishes from the feast.
OK, bring the gear in.
And we did a...
Wow, that looks good. Okay. Now, this is not your regular stove, is it?
That on you.
What is this?
OK,
Oh, this is liquid nitrogen again.
Yeah, in here.
We had some of this on the show last week. You're not meant to put your fingers in it, because... What the mother lover? What are you doing? You're a nut job! Get out of here! Hey, you can do it then. Can I have a go?
Yeah, go on.
This is probably breaking every safety rule.
I know.
Yeah, but I'm leaving it, don't matter. There you go. Hey! That was cold. That got on my cold belly
cold,
bit.
isn't it?
That made my belly a bit cold. It's like tickling. So you can do it, but you mustn't leave your hand in.
Don't leave your hand in.
Because your fingers will pop off.
No, there's a professor at the University of College London who can somehow have a glug of this stuff and spit it out. So don't try that at
Why
home.
are we even saying that in front of young people? Let's not.
I didn't say that.
OK. Well, you did.
So this is...
So, hold it, how does this cook, then? 'Cause
Right,
it's
so-
cold, this would freeze.
Yeah, so 1970s feast.
Yeah.
Dessert, we used the inspiration from a pick and mix.
Yeah.
So, in here, there's a shrimp.
What, a real shrimp's in there?
No, it's actually custard ice cream, rhurrhub sorbet. So it's rhubarb and custard.
Wow.
And it's white chocolate sprayed with a coloured white chocolate.
That must take hours just to make that.
Yeah, that was a long time. In here, sherbet fountain.
Yep.
But it's a vanilla straw. So it's a vanilla pod dried on a cocktail stick, and the fountain is Christmas tree flavoured. Wrong time of year, but...
Wow.
So have a dip and have a...
So I can have a suck of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It does taste... it doesn't taste like regular
piney
sherbet.
thing.
Oh, yeah, it tastes a bit horrible. It does. No, don't do that. I can be I'm all over me ghoulies. I tell you what it tastes a bit like. Shake and vac. Remember that? I thought you'd take that as a compliment, Heston.
OK.
It's nice, though, but it's nice. It's good quality, shake and vac.
So, to finish the dessert, here we've got there's a gobstopper.
A big gobstopper. What's that made out of?
It's got some fromage blanc, orange flower water, and some popping candy. Remember
Wow.
Space
Oh,
Dust?
yeah, I love that stuff.
And here's this is based on there's coconut tea cakes you get in pick and mix. That's a brioche that's been caramelised. It's warm. And I'm going to do the other little fried eggs.
Oh, the little toy fried,
Yeah.
sweet fried eggs. So you can do this with the cold plate here?
Yes.
It's the
so
opposite.
this is fromage blanc and lychee. So you put some of that on the griddle.
Can I have a slug of this?
Yeah. That's a lot. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Why did you tell me to have a slug then if you knew that was going to happen? Well, that's very Moorish.
And then... There.
I'm an idiot.
OK. It's not working.
It's not working, is it? Have you done this before, Heston?
Yeah, yes. But it's not...
Well, why don't we just dip it in? Like, I'll tell you what, let's cheat it. I'll help you because I'm quite good at this sort of thing. Watch out, don't splash it too much. Just put it. Put it in there.
Hold it out. No.
Oh, well, that's all dripping. Wow! Oh, jeez! Wow! My leg! I've lost a knee.
Right, I'm going to finish this off now. OK, so imagine that's got a fried egg on there.
Imagine.
You just have to imagine.
Imagine we did that successfully.
Yeah.
This is surprisingly cold.
And we serve the plate like this.
OK. The chair's frozen.
So you lift... This is like the flying saucer.
It's look,
1970s.
you would look good in that as a hat.
So open the lid.
OK, so this will be a 70s treat for people. Let's open the lid up.
And stand back.
Wow, that is... What a lovely surprise.
Look at that.
That's pretty good. See if you can get it to land on one of the fellas' heads.
David's head. Stay still, David. No. Come on.
What do you mean, no? It's not the... Oh! So close. Can I try one of these, Heston?
Yes.
Oh, that is delicious.
It's rhubarb and custard.
And we taste it. Maybe... Would any of you like to try this? Yes. What a shame. What is this? Heston bought something else on the show. I've got no... It's a lot of liquid nitrogen there. Is that expensive liquid nitrogen?
Right, this stuff we did for the...
What the hell is that?
We did it for the Wonka feast. It's called sulfur hexafluoride.
Sulfur hexafluoride?
Yep, otherwise known as furlong gas. You know how helium makes your voice go
It
high?
does something to the vocal cords,
Yes.
doesn't it? And it makes you... Wow, wow, wow.
Right. So this was... The starter was
You must have so much fun just play. Can you just order science stuff and play around with it all day? Wow, that's something.
Right, ready?
So you're filling up a magic mushroom from the look of it. Oh, that sounds good.
Right, you've got to suck all of that in.
Do I take it down into my...
Right down, and then wait for 2 seconds and start talking.
I'm not going to get high, am I? Because I'll get messy and tell you I love you.
Take a big, deep breath. So all the way, 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 all the way. Wait for 2 seconds afterwards. Wait, wait, wait. Now start talking.
Oh my God! Oh my Lord!
Wow.
And I tell you what, Daddy likes. Daddy likes. Give me some more of that head to floor, will you? Give me another hit of that.
Baby's hurting bad. Baby needs another hit, Daddy. Tell you what, this is good gear.
I'm getting a bit dizzy.
That
Didn't work. Oh, that time. What's going on now? Coming to the West End next Tuesday. It's kick-ass. Wow, that's some good shit you got on there. That is some good gear.
It's good, isn't it?
Can I take some home for the kids? Heston, great to have you on. Thank you so much. Is there anything, before you go, anything you've never cooked that you really want to? Is there anything like would be, if I could give you the gift of something extraordinary, that would be the one thing that you've been hoping for?
I'd probably like the challenge of trying to cook something in space.
Would you cook a person? I bet secretly you've got recipes.
Oh, no.
In your head,
for
haven't you?
the Gothic horror feast, we did serve a skeleton.
You served a skeleton?
Yeah, but where the rib cage was, we put these braised beef ribs, and there was brain fritters in the skull.
But was it a real human skeleton?
It was a real plastic replica of a human skeleton on a morgue table.
Well, you look kind of like... You look a little bit like that bloke who does the bodyworks there. Gunther von Hagen's
I've got my hat though, have I?
Yeah, well, you just... Here we go. You do look like Harry Hill going to a special party. Hey, great to have you here, Heston. I'm a huge fan of you. I think you are a bloody genius, as well as a Blumenthal. Mr. Heston Blumenthal, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. Thanks, Stable. You want to stay for the music?
Thank you. I'd love to.
We're going to stay and enjoy the music. Thanks to all my guests this week, the wonderful Heston Blumenthal, Aaron Johnson, and, of course, the fabulous Tina Fey. We're not on next week because of the Master